Creative ideas begin with a problem, a shortage, a challenge. Our hardship can, and many times does, result in innovative thinking. As we say, necessity is mother of invention. And shortage, that's why shortage can be a blessing, because we find a way. Now, it doesn't only apply with inventions. Creativity in general is considered to be derived out of the same difficulties. The psychoanalytical theory of creativity, whose main proponents are Freud, Adler, and others, argues that creative thinking, or people being creative, derives out of difficult circumstances, or some sort of hidden emotions, or even feeling of inferiority can contribute to creativity. They say that it's not the act itself, but rather the relief from pain, anxiety, or even sexual tension that drives and motivates people to be creative. So the concept of tortured artist is not a myth. Pain can actually be a source for their creativity. Take T.S. Eliot, for instance, saying that anxiety is the handmaiden of creativity. Or just take children playing make-believe as a result of not having a toy that they desire. It seems like whichever form of creative thinking that we're going with or trying to understand, it always comes down to the same needs and shortages that makes people creative. Now, it doesn't have to be just about that. For instance, the theory of the humanistic theory. The humanistic theory that actually says that creativity springs out of immediate needs, immediate necessity, like a threat to survival. They say that it's something that comes spontaneously, that's something that actually goes very much like the evolutionary process that made humans adapt to rapidly changing environments. More than that, although many scholars of creativity say that flexibility and autonomy and freedom is what drives creativity, there are voices stating today that these conditions can actually limit creativity, and they overwhelm people sometimes. Actually, there was a very interesting study that was done in New York that says that if you take two groups of people, give them the same task, and give one of them abundance of resources and one just limited resources, you are most likely to receive the more creative ideas coming from the group with the limited resources. Now, we in Israel know a lot about what it takes to come with creative ideas when it comes to shortage. Here's one example. Another example. But really, it seems like our hardship or our shortage of resources has brought us to be very creative. We didn't have enough water, so we found ways to desalinate, reuse, and preserve water. Today, we reuse 85% of our water, which is more than any other country in the world. We didn't have enough energy. We didn't have any energy resources. So we put solar water heaters on every rooftop in Israel, starting in the 70s, before this technology was even introduced in many other countries. Our shortage of land and our harsh climate drove us to develop seeds that can grow high yield in this harsh environment. It seems like this lack of natural resources has got us to be very creative. And it's not only with natural resources, it's much wider than that. It goes to IT and life science and internet and on and so on and so forth. Israel is considered to be a technological hub, a global technological hub today, second only to Silicon Valley. Its entrepreneurship skills, it's being, I think, the #1 in terms of startups per capita. Is it all just a coincidence? My work enables me to work with many entrepreneurs in a variety of fields, many startups. It's very interesting to get to meet them and know them. And We try to find their unique creativeness and to see how we position them better when they're coming to partner with American companies and VCs. And I was fortunate to meet and work with extraordinary entrepreneurs. And during these past years, I've learned a lot about people and ideas and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. For instance, Avi Aron, an engineer whom I met a couple of years ago. Avi was involved in a motorcycle accident. He was rushed into the hospital, where the doctors told him, after examining him, that no real damage was caused by the accident. Unfortunately, they have found a tumor in his brain. Now, because of the technological knowledge that was then available, and the medical knowledge and the technology itself, Avi decided not to go through with the surgery. Instead, he started studying, digging deep into neurosurgery, going to conventions, meeting experts, and he came across an expert at NYU that actually developed a method that can extract the growth. He did the operation, and it was a success. However, a year and a half later, they found that the tumor was not removed completely, and a part of it was still there. Avi rushed back to the doctor, but the doctor told him that the technology cannot allow him to actually operate again. So Avi set up to finish what he started, and he actually developed a miniature microscope that enables to make that procedure happen. And today, it's a relatively simple procedure that enables people all around the world to have such growth extracted. So Avi found a way. So it seems like the hunger, the need for something, can make us people reach deep, deep enough and get our most creative ideas, our most interesting thoughts. It seems like when you're in need of something, when you know what you need, you can achieve anything you want. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not here to say that the hunger is all you need for it. And creativity is definitely something which is much more complicated than that. It can be nurtured and learned over time. It's an acquired quality. And I am definitely not saying that all you need in order to be a successful entrepreneur is being creative. This is at least part of what you need in order to be a successful entrepreneur. You need tolerance of risk, you need knowledge, and you need a whole lot of optimism. And clearly, I'm not saying it's bad to have abundance of resources. That can clearly help any procedure, right? But when it comes down to the actual source of it, whether we're talking about a child playing make-believe or just an engineer that is fighting for his life, it seems like the source is the same. It seems like it's that problem, that hardship, that drives us to get the most out of ourselves. I was on my way home a couple of weeks ago, and as I was approaching the gate, I saw children. They were playing, and the boy was not more than 6 years old. And he was playing with his sister, I guess, and she was very frustrated. And I overheard them talking. And you know what he said to her? He said, "Find the weak spot. That's the key to your success." So here I am advocating for something that a 6-year-old knows. And it takes me much longer to say it. But the thing is this, and that's what I'm here to say. I encourage you to find your weak spots, your need, the thing that you are lacking of. Because this is probably the way for your being, the success that you desire to be. It's the way to your success, your happiness, your fulfillment of the creative potential that you have. And maybe if you go that way, you will actually be able to turn your shortage into a blessing. Thank you.